Hi, you guys. I hope you guys are doing good and had a good summer break. Welcome to Health Science. I'm really excited for you guys. I'm excited to have such a big class in here. And we're actually, because you guys are such a big class, I've had to really expand our clinical options. So we've got some extra places to go this year that I'm really, I think it'll be really good. Anyway, so health science, you guys have hopefully have had principles, and I know some of you guys I'll have later in anatomy as well, and just lots of exciting stuff going on. I just want to kind of give you guys a little idea of what the class is going to look like. You already know a lot of how I run my classroom, so we won't necessarily go over just a ton of that. But let's go ahead and look. Go ahead and get out your syllabus, if you will, and we'll talk about that in a second. Just a couple things about this class is, it's 2 periods. One thing is you guys are welcome whenever the bell rings in between the periods, as long as we're not like in the middle of a discussion or in the middle of a lecture. You guys are welcome to go to the bathroom, take your break, just make sure you're back by the time the second bell rings. You're welcome to do that. Most of the time we will pause whatever we're doing when that bell rings, and then we'll go from there. So just know that's an option. Now, if I say, let's wait, we'll take our break in a minute, that's fine. If you want to wait till after the video and then take a couple minutes for a break, that's fine too. And you guys will get your hall passes. You still only get 2 hall passes for this class, so just keep that in mind, because you still have the break in between to go to the bathroom or wherever you need to go to do that. So that makes this class a little bit different, and but it's fun. I mean, we'll just, stay flexible. We will not begin clinicals just yet. The first day that I have set for clinicals is October 6th. So we'll take this first 6 weeks or so to review everything, go over the stuff that we learned last year, learn a few new things, and we'll go over all that, and then on October 6th, we'll actually start clinicals. So we'll have some new options, like I said, for clinicals this year. We're going to go to the hospital in Sulphur Springs. We're going to go to the vet clinic in Pecan Gap. We have the physical therapy clinic at Commerce. So those are some extra places for us to go, which that's really good. Expanding, and I'm excited. A couple things you need to be thinking about before then is, in a couple weeks, I'm going to take an order for shirts. You guys will be able, I'll order everybody a polo shirt that will have your name on it, because at clinicals you're required to wear something that says that you're a student, and you're required to wear something that says that you are, that has your name on it. Everybody's required to wear a name tag, so we'll have to have those shirts. So keep that in mind. They're usually about $15. Just know that that's coming, so you need to be prepared to pay for that. The other things about clinicals you do need to know is, you might be gathering this up, but you're going to have to wear either black or khaki pants with your shirt, and they're going to have to be tucked in. So just keep that in mind. I'm perfectly fine with you guys getting scrub pants to wear, but know that that is you're going to have to do either black or khaki to go with your shirt. And again, scrub pants are fine. Just make sure that whatever pants you get to wear, they're not just extremely tight, and they're not extremely baggy. They need to look nice, look professional. So make sure that you wear something that's appropriate. The only other thing that I require that you have to wear for that is just some clean shoes. They don't have to be any certain color, but they do need to be closed-toed, so that, if something gets spilled or a needle gets dropped or something, not that you guys are going to have needles, but somebody else might. That you've got something that covers up your feet, but they just need to be clean. They don't have to be new. I'm not telling you to go out and buy new shoes, but they do need to be clean. So make sure that that is the case. So those are the main things. Just kind of keep that in your head. That's something that's going to be required. A few other things that are going to be required. One is, for those of you guys, I know we've got 2 options in here. Those of you guys who are juniors for sure. In the spring, we'll be taking the CNA course over at Commerce, and then the ones of you that are seniors, for the most part, I guess there may be some seniors doing the CNA thing. You guys will be doing pharmacy tech. Both of those have costs that will come up, and just so you guys, I want you to be aware of that. And I can't think, I'm gonna have to get out my paper and see exactly what the cost is. I don't want to give you a number right now, but just know that when next semester comes up, that's coming. So whenever I get back, we'll talk about that some more. Other than that, you guys, supply-wise in here, all you need is just your normal. Make sure you have a notebook that you can keep everything organized in for this class, and then make sure, you've got something to write with and your paper and all that kind of stuff. We don't necessarily need index cards. You may need a few things for like various projects that we'll do, but for the most part, those are kind of your basic supplies. I'll make sure I didn't have anything else in here. Sorry, my nose is running. Yeah. Oh, the other thing you might want to get is some kind of clipboard to take with you to your clinical rotation. And you can have just a regular clipboard is fine. I have in the past, this was mine that I used in nursing school. So, that's another option. But you can even just use a regular clipboard, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So that is the other thing. I guess that's it as far as supplies goes and just prep. Yep, it's exciting. Let's talk about your syllabus. So course description says the health science course offers a thorough investigation into the healthcare industry. This course will give students opportunities to build their confidence, communication, and critical thinking skills through invasive research and hands-on experiences. So you guys are going to be job shadowing for that 7 weeks, 2 days a week for the whole class period. So that's, I've got big expectations for you guys. One, I really expect you guys to act professional. We're going to, these places allow us to come in. They don't get any kind of compensation. They don't get any kind of pay for it. So if one of you guys ruins a relationship with one of the clinical sites, that really makes it difficult for me to continue this class the next year. So we always want to make sure that we're professional. I just have really big expectations for you guys. And we'll go over clinical expectations whenever the time gets closer. Just know that is, that's coming. The only prerequisites for this class are principles of health science. I would recommend for those of you guys who are seniors, if you're not in the anatomy class, but you're planning on going into the health science field, I would really recommend that you take anatomy and physiology and get into that class. Expectations, you guys know my expectations. I expect you guys to contribute to class discussion. I expect you to contribute when you guys are in groups and projects, which we will continue to do because you guys know I love that. I expect you guys to do your best in here. And we're going to do, we do lots of stuff in here and it's really fun, but you guys have to put forth the effort. And you know that I expect that from you. I expect you guys to keep up with your studies. You know where to get everything. You'll have your weekly paper every week. That's what you need to use if you're absent or if you're trying to look ahead and see what we're going to be doing. Use that weekly paper. Okay, we won't have paydays this year, our quizzes, but we will. We're going to review all of that here in the beginning. So, field trips. In order to participate in any field trips, you guys know you have to be passing all of your classes at the time of the trip, and then, of course, a permission slip. Clinical policies, I will go over again in detail clinical policies with you when the time comes closer. We will also have a meeting in the evening, one night before clinical start. So, for your parents to come and sign all the paperwork that goes with it, because there's like oodles of paperwork. Oodles of signatures that I need, and so we'll do all that when the time comes a little bit closer. Again, it's the same as the field trip policy though. You have to be passing all of your classes in order to get to do the clinical rotation. So know that you have to be passing all of your classes to do clinicals. Otherwise, you're going to have to stay here by yourself, and you're going to have other work to do, which will not be fun. Practicum, it says if a student desires to participate in a practicum, which is either pharmacy tech or CNA, you have to choose that early in the fall semester and commit to taking the exam the following year. This class will be self-disciplined, self-paced, and the student must show that you're able to handle the workload before the start of the spring semester. So I'll have to okay you to start the pharmacy tech program or the CNA program. Just because, especially with the pharmacy tech, CNA is a little more structured because, you know, you're taking it there and they have very specific things for you to do. But pharmacy tech is very much you're on your own for a lot of it. Now, I'll still lecture and give you guys information when that pharmacy tech class starts, but it's really, I just basically give you a calendar and tell you when everything is due. It's up to you when you get it done. So just know that that's something we will begin. Again, fees are required, so all that will be expected to be paid before it gets started. Grades, you know, you have 50% daily grades. Daily grades includes quizzes, just regular everyday assignments, participation grades, etc. And then tests are your projects and your, you know, any tests that we do, any papers we do, that kind of thing. One thing that we will be doing that I do every year, instead of a semester exam test, we will be doing a case study. So each of you guys will have and I may give everybody the same one this year, but I'll give you guys all the information about a specific patient, and you have to just make a portfolio kind of what's going on with that patient, what their pathophysiologies are, and all kinds of stuff. So we'll start working on that probably the beginning of the third 6 weeks. Hall passes, you guys know how the hall pass rule works. Everybody gets 2 hall passes, 2 for this whole class. If you use them, you don't have your 5 points at the end of the 6 weeks. If you don't use them and you keep up with them and you've got them to turn in, well, I'll put 5 points for each one that you have on your lowest test grade. Extra credit, you guys are aware of this too. Your extra credit papers are back here in this tray, this clear tray. If you want to do extra credit, you can do 2 summaries of a magazine or journal article or online article, but it has to be health science related. You can do 2 of those. Excuse me. Each one is worth 5 points on a test grade as well, but they have to be turned in. Remember, the Friday before the 6 weeks end. So like this first 6 weeks ends September 26th. So September 19th is when it would be due. You have to have it in by then. If you turn it in the next day, it'll just go on for the next 6 weeks. Makeup work, and again, told my other classes this too, but unless this has changed in the handbook, which I haven't seen the new handbook yet, while I'm recording this video, school hasn't started yet. So this is my policy until I find out we're doing otherwise. Makeup work, you have 2 days to finish any makeup work, and I think the handbook says, like, if you're absent, that's 2 days for the first day and then an extra day for every additional day you're absent. So if you're absent for 2 days, then you get 3 days to make it up. If you're absent for 3 days, then you get 4 days to make it up. I think that's correct. And that's the way I will use this. Now, it's your responsibility when you're absent, again, to pick up work. So you guys know this is the absent folder back here. Okay, so if you're absent, go in here, look for one with your name on it. It says it's under the health science tab. We'll go from there. Okay, if you're missing, if you can't find a paper that you've already been handed out, extras, there's a folder back here that says extras. If there's extras in there, you're free to take it. If there's not, you'll have to make a copy of somebody else's that's not answered, if it's a worksheet or something, or I don't know, copy it, write it down, whatever. So make sure that you pick that up, because again, I'm only going to be here, and I may need to go over that with you guys too for a second. I'm only going to be here 2 days a week. So I can look online and see who was and was not absent, but I won't be here all the time for you to ask. So that's where you need to go. Look on your weekly paper, see what you missed, go to the absent folder. Okay, if you don't have all of your makeup work turned in by the end of that absence grace period, then it's considered late work, and then I'll go by the late work policy. That you'll be allowed 2 days to finish any late work, The highest grade that can be earned on late work is a 70, and if it's not completed within 2 days, you will receive a 0, and there's no longer opportunity to make it up. Okay, I know in the past I've been a lot more lenient than I probably should have been. This year, we will not be able to do that. Okay, Ms. Pickering is going to take everything up every day and keep it for me so I'll know exactly what day you turned it in. And this is the policy we're going to go by. Okay, so just know that this is what we're going by. So you need to get out your weekly paper every single day you come to class. Make sure that you turn in whatever is due. That's your reminder, okay, that weekly paper. So get it out every single day. If it says that something's due, make sure you get that turned in. If it goes beyond that 2 days for the late work, it's just going to be a 0, and there will not be an opportunity to make it up. Okay, we won't have any of this at the end of the 6 weeks. Oh, I'm missing this paper. No, that's just the way it is. And same thing with absences. You know, if you're absent the first week of the 6 weeks, don't come back 2 weeks later and say, oh, I was absent that day. You need to pick it up as soon as you get back. I'm going to leave that, that responsibility is on you guys. Make sure you guys have your syllabus signed. Make sure you bring that back and turn that in. A few things that you guys are going to be doing this week. I want to make sure that I go over a couple things with you guys. One is that you're going to be reviewing your military time. I'm going to give you the same paper you got last year. Just make sure you look over that. If you're having trouble with it, talk about it with somebody else in class. Look at it, make sure you understand and remind yourselves how to do that review. And that's pretty much, I'm not going to do any lectures this week. It's just review, practice, and review. Vital signs review. You guys know where the blood pressure cuffs are and the stethoscopes. The alcohol pads are in the cabinet with the crosses on it. Grab those so that you guys can clean. We've got thermometers. We've got, we've got all the stuff that you guys need. Y'all can pretty well know where to find it all, or should know. And for part 1, you don't actually have to check it anyway, so that won't be till part 2. Military time, medical terms, and I put this on your paper, I think, but there's a Jeopardy game back there at the back of the classroom. You guys are welcome to play that. I think that it is set up to be played the same way that Coach Nichols, I think, plays Jeopardy in his class. So if it's not making sense. The other thing is I have the flashcards in my closet over here. If you guys want to practice with flashcards, you're welcome anytime you get free time this week to practice on your medical terms. You're welcome to get on your phone and do your, go to Quizlet or something like that where you can practice medical terms. Okay, don't play on your phones. You can only use them for schoolwork, but you're welcome to do that. There will be a military time quiz this week. And then a worksheet that's pretty long and extensive. Or maybe this one's not. Maybe it's the one next week that's a little bit longer. Anyway, so just know you guys need to be practicing your hand washing. Okay, we'll do that next week. Make sure you're practicing your vital signs. Make sure you're going over your medical terms because there's going to be lots of terms on the review test next week. So know that that's coming. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, I won't do any more video lectures this week just because it's all review. And you guys, y'all have done well in the past, so you will be fine. Just make sure that you're practicing. Use your time wisely in here. You guys know how I am. Use your time wisely in here. We're not going to argue with you. We're not going to make you sit and study. Well, we might make you sit and study if you're being really disruptive. But you guys know you need to take your time while you're in here to study because this review test is pretty tough. So just know that you need to know that. Anyways, we're going to have a great year. I'm excited. I'm excited for all of you guys to be in here. I'm excited about the new clinical places. It's going to be fun. We do some really, we don't do so much like black and white kind of work in here where it's like, we have this quiz and it's got a right answer or wrong answer. We do lots of discussion in here. We do lots of, what do you think about this? We'll do some reading. We actually have a book that we'll read it's a really short book, really interesting, about a man who had a stroke, and he tells the story. He just kind of tells what it feels like to have had this stroke. Really interesting. We're going to read portions of a book about an ethical issue that happened in like 40s. I've read it so many times I should know, but anyways, about an ethical research study that was done that was not very ethical, and it's really interesting. It sparked some really good conversation. So yeah, we've just got lots of things. I'm excited. So I hope you guys are good. I hope you're excited too, and make sure that you study this week. Okay, I'll see you guys next week. Oh, that's what I didn't talk about. One more thing. So the way that class is going to work this year, and I think I told you guys some last year, Miss Pickering will be here starting next week. This week I'm still on maternity leave. I'll start back on Tuesday, September 2nd. So Miss Pickering is going to be here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I will be here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, and we're going to communicate back and forth, so know that. But so main thing I want you guys to do is just to stay flexible. Okay? You know, it's like my sign on the door, the little bird on the door. Just let that remind you. We have to stay flexible because this is a learning process for all of us, and since this is the first year that we've done this, but I want it to be successful, and I think it will be successful. But you guys are going to have to stay flexible, and we're going to stay flexible too. So I'm excited for the opportunity that I was able to stay and do this. I wanted to have more time at home. It's not that I don't enjoy this. This is what I want to do. But I want to be able to spend more time at home with my new baby and Hannah while they're little. So that was really important to me. So I'm really glad and excited that the school allowed me to do this. So you guys, I'm going to get a box together that I will leave out for you guys. If you have some questions and you're worried you'll forget it, or whatever reason, something you want me to discuss, when I come back, I'll leave a little box with some index cards and stuff. So write down your questions and put them in there. So anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful first week of school, and I will see you soon.